We are on to the next part of this project. This is going to be a standalone video as well, but this is part of our 03 buildup. We're filming an 03 from start to scratch on a rebuild. So right now we're waiting for some rod bearings. What we wanted to do here is we've actually talked to our customer. We're upgrading to some 103 valve springs that we're trying out. These guys are made in America. They came packaged like so. They are off eBay, and I'll throw the link in the description below if you want to take a look at them. Made in America. They had the specs for how much pressure they had at certain degrees of lift. They are not 110s, they're 103s. And I said, you know what? We're going to give them a go round. And we'll also be using them on another one of our build-ups that we're going to be filming soon. So what we've got going on here, so the parts that you're going to need, if you're just swapping them out to stock, then obviously you'll need stock springs. We are swapping out to the 103-pound springs. So you're going to need a Torque Tech or some other kind of valve spring removal tool. We'll be showing the process for the Torque Tech, and we'll also throw a link to where we get those below in case you need one. I highly recommend them because it is so much easier. And it will be slower because I'm talking about it and showing you the process. But when you're doing it by yourself, you can knock out 4 valves in a couple of minutes. So just up front here, we will be showing you, obviously this is off the truck because I'm just sitting here with it. The principles go the same for off the truck and on the truck. The only difference is if you were doing this on the truck, you would make sure that your piston that you're working at, so whether it's 1, 2, 4, whatever, is at top dead center. And there are companion cylinders, so you don't have to change it for each time you do a valve. So companion cylinders are 1 and then 6 and then 2 and 5 and 3 and 4 are companion cylinders, meaning when 1 is at top dead center, 6 will also be at top dead center. That would be of a different stroke if we were looking at with valve hardware on here, but for us, we don't care. We just need the piston to be at the top. So we'll just do it this way. We need the piston to be at the top of the throw so that the valves don't fall down into the cylinder bore. Because if you just throw this guy on there and you've got it on the truck and it's not at TDC, when we put pressure on this guy, it's going to squish this valve down. You're going to pull the collets out, and then there's nothing keeping it from dropping straight down. So that's the only modification. If you're doing this on a truck, you're going to have to pull the injector out. You're going to stick something. I like using like a little piece of, like a foot-long piece of brass. Heck, use something longer than that so you don't lose it. Just like brass brazing rod. Don't use aluminum because aluminum can break off in there. Ask me how I know that. I thought, ooh, aluminum, soft. Yeah, I had to pull a cylinder head and retrieve a little chunk of aluminum rod out of one. I was actually on the black hole. Fun stuff. Don't use aluminum. It can break off. And just keep it straight. You don't want it to get bound up in there. We're not looking for metal shavings. Just be gentle and make sure that piston is all the way at the top, and then these guys won't have anywhere to go. They may drop down a little bit, but not much. All right, on to the party. Now that we've covered both on the truck and off the truck, let's show you the Torque Tech setup. So what we have here is Torque Tech base. So this has got the stud on it, and it's going to go, you can see where it's machined out for to sit in between the valves. So that faces the intake shelf. So we're going to drop it right here on number 2, and we're going to go ahead and hand thread those real quick and just get them started. And because we are under the gun here, we're going to grab our little impact driver, and we're not killing them. This is not, they don't have to be torqued down. As long as they're snug. You see that guy's not going anywhere. So they're snug on there. We grab our top plate, and we're going to go ahead and slide that down on there. And I've lubed it with some Permatex Ultra Slick. So I went ahead and put that on there because it's easier. And we're going to go ahead and drop that down. Now, one little tip here, as you're doing this, these guys are not symmetrical. Even though they look symmetrical, they're not. So you can see that that fits perfectly over them right now. But if I take this thing up and I spin it, oh, there you go. Look at that. Does not match up, and you wouldn't be able to retrieve the collet. So if you happen to throw it on there and you see that, don't freak out. Just take it and spin it. You did not get a bum thing, a bum Torque Tech valve spring tool. So for the sake of time, I'm going to grab the 1/2 inch impact driver, and you'll see that we do this with a ratcheting box end. You could do it with a ratchet too. So I'm just, and you can see the collets start to jump out once we get down towards the bottom. I'm going to take my magnet. This one is a little large. I like to use the smaller pencil magnet for these. And we're just going to go around and start collecting collets. So we've got a good number of them. And we've got our little Ziploc bag here. Just going to take those guys and stick them. Wow. One-handed is mighty difficult. So we're going to go ahead and stick those in the bag. And if we have, you'll notice that another thing that we need to have here is a little pair of tweezers. So if some of them are going to be a punk, you just grab them. And of course, you'd be able to get those if you had the smaller magnet. It's just this great big huge one just won't quite cut it. Okay, so we've rolled that around. And notice we're sticking it in a clean bag. No need to get dirt on any of these. Now, we're to the point where we're going to go ahead and pull this guy off. Ooh, we've got one. I saw it jump around in there. Got one that I missed with the magnet. Okay, so we've got that back in its spot. All right, sorry that that's loud. So we've got that all set up. We've got this pulled off, and we're going to pull it straight up, and we're going to stick it right over there. And you'll hear that some of those little retainers stayed on there. So I'm going to take those, and I'm going to set them in the order that they came off. It's just kind of matching what we had. And we're going to pull our valve springs off. I'll set them down there. And we'll do a little comparison here while we're sitting here, guys. Look at the difference in the size between the 103s and the stocks. Now, if you're just running a stock truck, no need to, stress your cam out and your push rods out. Run the stock valve springs. But if you are upgrading, you're going with something where you're going to be running more boost, or you're going to be running a higher lift cam, get something appropriate for it. Again, I usually like to err on the side of giving my cam a little break, because you don't want to wipe out a lobe. That would be a bad day. Okay, so I've already cleaned these guys and made sure there's no debris on them, and we're just going to take them and we're going to set them back in the trough. So we've got them back on, and then we're going to take our retainers and we're going to drop those right over the top. And we want to line up. So we're going to just check and make sure that, we're reasonably lined up in there, that nothing's caught or binding. We're going to grab the Torque Tech again, set that down, and again, we're going to line up everything as best as we can. So what I like to do is I'm going to take this thing again for the sake of time. I'd probably be doing this with a ratchet, but these videos get long as they are. I'm going to run this guy down. Okay, now it started to get to coil bind down there. And what I want to do is I'm now going to take my ratcheting box end here, which I flipped the wrong way. Okay, so I've got that guy. and I've loosened it up a little bit, and I don't like, there's not quite as much room on some of these guys as what I would like to see. So I'm actually going to, loosen it up some. And maybe I'm going to have to loosen it up a lot, but I'd rather do it now than have to fight with it later on. And I'm not going to pry against the, top of the valves to get it to slide over. I'm going to be patient. I saw it start to shift there. So we had to come almost all the way back up to the top. Well, there it is. Okay, so now I've got it. I shifted them down. See, I should have just done this the first time, because then it would have saved me having to do it twice with the impact driver. I got a little overzealous in the sake of trying to keep this video short. Okay, and that should be good to get our collets on, or at least to get us an idea. So we're going to grab our collets, and we're going to drop them back down. And again, I've got my tweezers if I need them, and I've got my magnet to fish them out. If you're doing this on the truck, be dang sure that you don't lose a collet somewhere. Which, there's another little tip for you. Impact drivers can make the collets pop out of there. And right now, like when I was doing, I think it was number 5 or 6 earlier on, I had a collet pop out, and it went down what would have been a little return. So push rod hole right over here. For me, no big deal. Got the magnet, pulled it out, and went along my merry way. But if you've got the truck on there, then you have a collet, which is nice and hard, right somewhere down by your tappet that you're going to be fishing out of there. So I would not use an impact driver. Ooh, and those are lining up quite nicely for us here. So we're going to start, we've dropped them in there, and we're going to slowly back off, and we're going to watch and see how they line up. And this is super ridiculous of me, but I'm going to take this, and I'm going to space those collets out evenly, or try to, just so I have a nice even gap on them when they are seating. And I'm watching them and watching what they're doing. See, like that guy has closed the gap up already. I just prefer, for the sake of clamping force and everything, I'd like it to be as evenly distributed as possible on here. It's a lot of extra nitpicking, but that's what we do around here. Ridiculously nitpicky. Okay. And now that we have those guys loose, pull that guy back up, pull him off, and again, I'm setting him exactly how I pulled him off for the next go round. Then we're just reversing this. We pull that up, and again, those are loose, so we would want to make sure that we don't lose those down anywhere. We move that guy to the next guy, and we examine how they look. So we have nice, even spacing on the collets, which is going to give them the best chance for seating on there that we can. We're looking at the springs. The springs look like they're all good. And the one last thing that I do, and you have to make sure if this is on the truck, that you roll it off of top dead center, because otherwise you'd just be knocking your valve right into your piston top, which is stupid. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this thing up on its side after I get all of them done, and I'm going to take a rubber mallet, and I'm going to thump on those things a couple times just to make sure that they really are seated. Because if one is going to come apart, I want it to come apart now before, you know, I'm running the truck and it really causes some serious issues. So there you go. That's your quick tutorial with some tips and hacks and tricks and a little bit of valve spring discussion on a 24 valve spring replacement. Again, I'll throw links to the tool, to the little magnet, to the valve springs that we use in there, just in case you're looking for something, or if you want to support a channel, because we do use affiliate links, and that helps us keep sharing content. And, you know, we are not independently wealthy, so it takes everybody's support to help keep cranking out videos, especially long series like this 03 build that we're doing, because it takes super long to record and then edit those for posting. But so if you want to support the channel, awesome, subscribe and pass it around to your friends if you think it's useful. We really appreciate it, and we love sharing our kind of love of the Cummins and motoring world. All right, take care, and we will see y'all later.